right, guys, here we are. We got Ranger here. We're talking all things Omega and Bad Batch. We have had some chance to test things out ourselves and seen testing and heard things around the community. And so in today's video, we're going to be breaking that down for you guys and really answering the question, does Omega elevate the Bad Batch? Does she not? Do we kind of need to wait and see? But before we get into that, be sure and click that subscribe button if you guys have not already to both my channel and Ranger's. I'll leave a link down below. For that one, statistics show it's actually science. 50% of you aren't subbed to the channel. Shame on the other 50%. Hit that sub button. So Ranger, let's get right into this, man. Talk to me about Bad Batch. What are you observing here?
Well, I mean, a lot of things. I mean, we saw Omega's kit, Omega, and Omega. She's all right there, yeah. And when you look at the kit, you're like, okay, gonna increase the damage, gonna increase the team, sure. I mean, you look on paper, it seemed to be the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, I'm not. I mean, it's really good, but I'm not overly impressed with the kit. I think me and Loki are both about, you know, not super impressed yet with the team. I think she's going to have her uses. I think it's a strong A team. I know I was watching some other content creators the other day, and they were testing all this stuff out, and you know, just couldn't beat GLs with it. Maybe they just haven't got the right combination or figured it out yet with the modding. We've only had it really for a day to figure out. But I mean, what I've really been seeing with Bad Batch, especially in the upper tiers, Kenobi, Bad Batch, that team is absolutely destroying things. It is, I mean, I just watched Loki use a Jedi Master Luke team against it and just get wrecked. I mean, got wrecked by it. And then he tried another counter with it where it was like Shock T clones, like maybe this could do it, and wrecked. Absolutely. Or sorry, Shock T Bad Batch against Bad Batch.
But that's without Omega, right? Like not necessary.
Without Omega. Now, the stuff I've been seeing with Omega, a lot of stuff, it does a lot of stuff really well. I think in Line Sight TB, I think it's going to have its uses in GAC. I just don't think it's putting back. I don't think she does enough damage from what I'm seeing yet. And there's still more to be done that I think it elevates them to that, you know, that upper echelon, especially when you're thinking about like GAC and you're thinking about counters. You know, when I think counters, like, oh, you have SLKR, I'm going to use my Jedi Luke counter. Oh, you've got Palpatine on defense. I don't know why you would, but I've seen it. Oh, Imperial Troopers. You've got Rey. Let me use Vader here, right? Those are the kind of teams. So you see, I haven't seen that yet with Bad Batch. Where it'll fit, is it going to be a complete team? We still have some unknown stuff, like you were just mentioning before we started this. You know, where does Commander Ahsoka fit?
Yeah,
where's she going to fit? Is she going to be on Bad Batch? She's going to be on Kenobi, and then you know all this stuff that's out there. There's way more stuff we have to do, but initial feelings, it's like it's good. But I don't think it's extraordinary by any stretch.
Here's my biggest question that I have after, and maybe you've seen something that makes you feel differently, but I still have yet to see anything that convinces me that the Bad Batch is improved because of Omega. I feel like you can slot so many other characters in that fifth spot and be fine. And so I'm wondering what the purpose of Omega is. They touted her as a big damage dealer. I'm seeing okay damage, even at high relic levels with great mods, just okay damage, nothing that's really turning anybody's head, I don't think. And so I'm just wondering why, if I've got a full Bad Batch team, am I clamoring to get Omega right now to improve my Bad Batch? I don't think so. And I think that's maybe because, like, obviously they mentioned in the dev interview, something they highlighted for a lot of time is they spent a lot of time tuning Omega because she felt like she elevated the Bad Batch too much. And so they obviously nerfed her in testing several times over probably. And I think they got it to a point where they kind of made Omega irrelevant, it feels like. Tell me if you're seeing anything different, but I don't see why a Bad Batch owner needs Omega.
I don't know. I mean, some people are going to spend no matter what, and that's cool. And I think she is a good character. But, you know, for me, I just don't spend on these marquee characters anymore. I think the last one was Bo-Katan. Mainly because they changed the packs back to the 5s and Swevens. And I'm known tremendously for when I only like that to get nothing but Swevens and 5s. And I just don't do it anymore. I think for me, it's just get them out of the shard store. If you're going to spend money, get some crystals and just get them that way. But yeah, I don't think she is worth it. I'm not seeing anything that's making me go, You know, it's not like Dark Trooper. I mean, when Dark
Right.
Trooper came out, I mean, that character, we were like, damn, this character's going to be pretty good. I don't think we
Well,
realized
Dark
how
Trooper
good
was
he was.
huge, man.
I mean, we didn't think about how good he was going to be, but we knew
Yeah.
he was going to be pretty gross, and he turned out to be exceptionally, really gross. But I'm not getting that feeling with her. I mean, she feels more like Bo-Katan at the moment, and I hate to say it. I mean, she's good. She does a lot of good stuff. I mean, I've got a Bo-Katan team, but it's not in that upper echelon of stuff where I'm like, well, this is going to take out this. It could take out a lot of stuff. It's Bad Batch is really good, and Omega does help, but I don't think it's going to push Bad Batch, you know, maybe to the level we were hoping that they would be. Maybe this would be a really solid A team that you could use on offense to really clear a lot of the upper echelon stuff. I'm just not seeing that yet. The thing I've been seeing too is that if you've got double tank on your team, they can't get around. I mean, yeah, they've got AoE, but it's not strong enough.
Right.
And that double tank is really, it's a nightmare, whether it's a Darth Revan team or if it's a Palpatine with 2 tanks or SLKR with First Order Stormtrooper and crew. I mean, people have been trying to puzzle how the hell do you get around that? Maybe you clear out maybe 1 or 2 characters, but in the end, those GLs get off and then you're hosed, you know, or Darth Revan gets off and you're hosed. So it's still a work in progress. It's still in the early stages, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm not superly impressed. I think it's good, but I'm like at that, you know, it's there, but it's not up here.
Right. And I like the comparison to Bo-Katan because, I mean, man, what a disappointing character Bo-Katan was. What team does she really elevate? And that's I think the question, the most valuable question for characters like this that come in, and there's existing teams, there's places to put them. All right, so how does this character elevate existing characters? And that is where you see the value. So like Dark Trooper, for example, how did Dark Trooper elevate troopers? In so many ways. And he elevates Empire teams in so many ways. Like there's so many different ways that you see elevation because of Dark Trooper. How does a character like, oh, I don't know, like let's go way back, talk about Nihilus. How did Nihilus elevate Sith back in the day? You know, it's just these characters that come out and they make these changes to the existing teams. Omega, I just don't see, and Bo-Katan, they didn't do anything to put existing characters in a spot of greater viability. Is she a decent character? Sure. But I just don't really see why anyone would really be clamoring for her at this point. She's in my favorites right now. I did take her to 4 stars, but it's kind of at a point where I would only be farming her right now because I think that she's probably going to be used for something in the future, but I don't really feel like I need her for anything right now.
I agree with you. I mean, it's if you got if you got the cash, then you go spend and get her and have fun, right? Because I think she is a fun character. But again, it's with these marquees, you have to be careful. I mean, if you look back for the last, I'd say since April, May, when we got the first, this kind of what I call the new round of marquees with Jango and Grieve, amazing. Piet, amazing. Moff Gideon, amazing.
Yeah, how did Piet,
Dark Trooper.
How did Piet elevate troopers? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Gideon too, man. Gideon, just Empire, period. And then you know, Mon Mothma, Chupio. But there's been some misses. I think Armor, kind of Bo-Katan.
Armor is kind of in the discussion, but between Armorer, Bo-Katan, and Omega, Armor is definitely the more desired character, I think.
Well, you get a little bit more value out of Armor because you can get some value out of her, but Bo-Katan...
Have you ran into an Armorer putting full Beskar armor on a nest?
Yeah, I use that team on defense.
Dude,
it's driving people crazy. Driving
so
people crazy
dumb.
with that. Yeah, it's a great GAC team on defense because it's a good banner stealing team. I mean, I average about...
There's logical use there. There's logical use.
Yeah, it's got its uses. As I said, there's uses, and I think Lightside TB, the Bad Batch with Omega is going to be stellar, right?
Yeah,
they're going to be really good, and that's going to help a lot of people with Lightside TB. That you know just frees you up with more teams to get Lightside TB and knock it out. But GAC maybe on defense. But we know how the AI is; it's hit or miss. I'm actually seeing more people using Bad Batch with Jedi Master Kenobi, and it's a nasty team. And I just don't know what you do with you know Omega at that point. I mean, she's either you go all in on Bad Batch or you mix and match, and she kind of gets on the wayside. So until we get the final verdict of like what she is really going to do and how this is really going to play out, it's not looking good, but it's only been a day, so let's not go crazy.
There could be something. So we're making our our initial opinions right now, but yeah, plenty of time where something could change. Maybe something will come out, counter modding strategy, attack strategy, and we'll see something pretty usable.
The community does it. Yeah, the community is just known for. They always come up with this crazy stuff, and you're just like, I didn't think of that.
I think that the devs were really worried about that with this team, and so I think that they personally, my feeling is that they were a little too worried about Bad Batch being too good, that they overreached and made Omega not nearly good enough.
I think they're being more cautious,
a little too conservative. So scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed are you? We'll put it on that scale. How disappointed are you with Omega?
I'm not really that disappointed because I wasn't really that excited to begin with. So I can't.
Is that because of the character? You're just not a big like Omega simp or anything like that?
Sure. No, I'm not a simp. I really enjoy her character. I think she's fantastic. I really like her in Bad Batch, but it's not a character that I just got excited for.
I feel that.
It's just like I'm kind of ambivalent. I just don't care. She's in. I think it's cool, but I'm not overly like oh my god. It's not like like when Van came out or with Grogu. I was like, oh man, that's so cool. But
yeah,
it's another character. It is what it is. I'd probably be like a 4 or 5.
Okay.
I wish it was a little bit stronger, but then again, it's not. That's right now, so I'm not that put off. So I'm kind of like in the middle, like it doesn't really bother me.
I'm in a similar range mostly because of the character. I'm more disappointed about the Bad Batch in general because I was just hoping giving the Bad Batch a 5th would have put Bad Batch in a much more prominent spot in the game because I just think they're really fun. I'm also disappointed because I think at the end of the day, I wish that this was Crosshair and not Omega, and that we got a Crosshair before he turned to the Empire. And so I wish that we had that. And sorry, that I know that's a spoiler. My policy is I give it a week or 2 for shows.
Sure.
But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about Omega and the Bad Batch. Maybe we'll see some more coming out. I think overall my disappointment isn't super high because of the character. I'll put it this way. My disappointment was way higher for Bo-Katan because of how much I love Bo-Katan than it is for Omega. So, Ranger, tell us about where to find you.
You can find us on Reality Skewed Gamers on Twitch and on YouTube. During the week, we stream on YouTube. Monday through Friday, we do the lunch stream, and then on Twitch, we do our GACs. We also have the Jedi Academy. We have the Wednesday night show. I mean, there's tons of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes content that you can find over there. So check it out.
All right, guys, you got all the links down below. Be sure to sub and have a great weekend, fam. We'll let you know once we see more things about Omega. And then next week, it's Commander Ahsoka Tano week. Super excited for that. See you guys.